Hello everybody and welcome to the video. My name is Midway and I hope you're having a wonderful day. I sure am. Today I want to be talking about talents, the talent system, and what are the best talents for archers, right? So the new talent system released shortly, not too long ago, along with the wings accessories or the back accessories in this case. And I got already myself some pretty nice set of wings here, but the talent system came along with it, and it is a pretty damn powerful one, as well as one that's not that easy. I mean, it is pretty self-explanatory, but at the same time, there is many options to go along with it. Also, with a chance of resetting stuff, right? You could just reset this and just start over again, as well as choosing stuff from all three different trees, right? You're not stuck with only one of the trees. Of course, choosing the tree from your class is usually going to get you the best of the best stuff for you, but there is other things in the other trees which we'll take a look afterwards, and we'll see that, well, after we do get a lot of these nodes, because we could eventually and maybe, in theory, get them all. It's gonna take forever, but if that was the case, you could also branch out to get off some of the stuff from the other nodes. So let's just start with looking at the archery tree and what I recommend doing as an archer, right? So of course I start going with the base attack increase here. You could choose to go with any of the other three, but once you start on one side, you cannot start on any of the other three, or rather on the other two sides, until you reach the final talent at level 1 from that one side of the tree that you already started. So we would have to get all the way up to here, to the Gale Barrage at level 1, which only has one level on it. But yeah, for sure, this one is definitely something we want to be getting to, right? So yeah, I started on the attack side of things. Why is that? Of course, attack usually is just a lot better. Surviving is very damn important, but it gets to the point where we can just immune through things, or just evade, or use our clone if we have clone strike for us, just to tank a little bit. And the damage, for the most part, is gonna get us through a lot of things. For example, as you can see right here, right now I am on Chaos 6, and basically I'm dying in like 1 or 2 hits from some of these bosses at this point. I'm just relying on insane amounts of damage and just things tanking for me, as well as just having that immunity, as I mentioned, for example, from things like having the immunity book here, just to get a little bit more time to survive before I am one-shot. But really, all I want is to do a lot of damage. Do not just forget about your defenses, of course, but first I want to be getting the damage. Now, after going there, I had the option to go for defense or to go for health. Now, why would I choose either of which? Well, the reason for that is because of the options we have afterwards, right? So in order to advance towards the next nodes, you need to get to at least level 10 on the previous node here, right? So I needed to get to level 10 on the HP boost, and then I am able to progress onto either healing amount, which, I mean, I am an archer, I'm not really healing too much, or either go with combo damage here. Combo damage right here is pretty damn insane, right? This is not just increasing, of course, your combo, but it is doing it multiplicatively. So if you go over here and you see your combo multiplier, once you unlock that extra 15%, that is going to be 15% more of however much multiplier you already have. It's not just going to be plus 15%, it's going to be plus that times 15%. So it's actually an insane amount of increase on that, just your combo damage as a whole, right? So going that way, pretty damn important. It's of course going to get a bit more expensive as you get to the higher and higher nodes. So at this point I need 22 of these items, which you get from these new dungeon, which you call the Dark Trials. In this case we got the Archer, which you can also buy a bit of a battle pass for, or like a benefits pack, so you can choose to reset it more times a day and get more rewards from. Definitely recommend doing so. It's going to increase and accelerate your progress to the talent system as a whole a lot faster. And yeah, you just challenge these guys. It is pretty damn easy. After a couple days, the difficulty cap increases. It's based off of the previously highest difficulty you beat, and then you just get more rewards every time you do that, and then you're also able to sweep the previous levels. It gets easier and easier, and or rather you just get more rewards from it, and you get even higher amounts of chances of attacking these enemies as you get to the higher levels, right? So that's how you do it. It's pretty damn simple, pretty easy, to be fair. I haven't had any issues so far. And then you just go ahead and choose whatever you want, right? So what's next up for us if we do choose to go this way like I just did, right? We would be getting Ignore Evasion, which is also pretty damn insane, especially for PvP, but bosses also evade, right? So ignoring evasion, pretty damn strong. It straight up just increases your damage if you, of course, happen to ignore an evasion. So that is a damage increase on itself as well. And then eventually you get yourself to the Gale Barrage we talked about, which what it does is every 2 seconds combo damage is increased by an extra 5% once you level it up to 50% extra combo damage. That is insane, also applying multiplicatively. and that's just going to give you an insane amount of combo damage increase. Now on the other side of the tree, what we are not taking going this way is increased healing rate. By the way, once again, we're not really healing, we're not really taking regeneration. As archers, we are also pretty weak. We do rely on some other forms of survival, especially for PvE, once we are getting pretty much just one shot. So yeah, healing really, I mean, it's not too important for us. Skill damage resistance would be nice as a defense, but to be fair, I would rather take damage, as already mentioned. And then ignoring stuns, well, also a bit of a defensive kind of node, but also just not getting stunned is pretty damn nice, right? So we are passing on some more defensive nodes in hopes of getting some more offense. So that's what I would choose to do. Now, what would I do next? Of course, I would still go through the archery tree, and that is because you can get all the way up to this, which says every 3 seconds crit damage is increased by an extra 5% up to 25%. So more crit damage and more combo damage. That is exactly what an archer wants, right? So those two things are the first two things you want to be getting. It's gonna take almost forever to get all those two, right? And then to do so, you would have to go through the increased base HP, which is pretty damn nice. More HP, we do take longer to die. And what would I take after? I would go through here, increasing my base attack as opposed to increasing base defense. And then I would take basic attack damage increase, because the other option would be basic attack resistance, so even more damage right here. Then I would take ignore evasion once again, so even higher ignore evasion still, just allowing us to just go through all that evasion that people have a lot of in PvP. So yeah, we are doing even more damage, and eventually we do get to the node that we want. At this point, we would already have two of the later nodes. What did we pass on here? We talked about the base defense. We have even more healing rate, again, skill damage resistance, and ignore stun, right? So those nodes over here are exactly the same as the ones over here. Does it follow? It doesn't. I don't think it follows the same pattern over here, right? But if we do choose to go to the upside down, then of course we would get the base defense afterwards, and then we would get increased healing amount. Now at this point I am thinking, well, I mean, increased healing amount, I'm not really too fond of that, but what else can we get? Base HP, base attack, of course I would like that. Battle damage resistance, whatever. What is this? Evasion, I mean, that's okay. Combo damage resistance, whatever. Defensiveness, skill damage resistance, basic attack resistance, counter damage resistance, right? So all the top side is really defensive stuff. It's obviously going to be helping. We need all of that as well. But if you still want to be getting for more offensive things after you've already unlocked those two sides of the tree as an archer, well, what's your other options, right? So if we search outside the archery tree, we can see that we can also actually slot into some of these other nodes on the other sides of the tree, right? So you can choose to go ahead and put some points into, in this case, the increased base attack, and then progress to that side of the tree while you have already started on the archery tree, and same goes for the sorcery. So that means we can actually try and go for some of these other nodes if we choose to. So at that point, I would think, okay, well, what's decent in the other trees, right? And I looked through them and I saw, okay, after 15 seconds in battle, attack speed plus, 15%, after 30 seconds, crit rate plus 20%, and after 45 attack plus 20%. Well, that sounds pretty damn insane. What would I also get for it? So you also have ignore evasion right there. You also have what's it called, evasion for yourself, and base defense. That's a little bit more of a defensive side. Of course, we're looking at warriors tree. We have base attack on this side, base attack resistance. We have healing over there. We have ignore combo. So they do have options to ignore our combo. To be fair, you see that. But yeah, you have decent options to go alongside with reaching or trying to reach those last nodes. In the side of the extra attack, we have when HP falls below 20%, which for archers, I mean, at that point you are pretty much dead in a one shot, but depends. PvP might not be the case. Attack plus 10%, attack speed plus 10%, crit damage plus 10%. All those things are insane for archers as well, right? So why wouldn't I try and go for that? We could also get some base defense, base HP, also extra evasion, counter damage. We wouldn't want that. Ignore evasion would be nice. And what do we have here? Restore 0.5 of maximum HP every 5 counter attacks. Not for us. Combo damage resistance, base defense, right? So we would be getting some defensive stuff along the way, just like warriors want, to try and get some of these last nodes. But if we are really just gonna go for defensive stuff, why not do so when the last node that we are gonna be getting is actually better than the one we would get in our own tree, right? If we go through archery and if we try and get this one last node, right, where we're just following this tree, we're going to be getting defensive stuff, but we are going to be getting the defensive stuff anyways on the warrior tree, so we'll just go warrior then, and we'll try and get a better stuff. Over here, we got healing increase on the top side, right, so that's not too much too good for us. On the side of the mages, we would have stun over there, then we would have when HP goes below 20%, skill cooldown is accelerated by 100% for 5 seconds. I mean, that's okay, but not too much for us. We're not really skill crit dependent, or rather skill dependent too much. Of course, we do get a big amount of buffs from it, but that would be a farther option after all all the stuff we saw from the warriors already. And then the other option here would be each skill cast increases attack by 2% up to 30%. I mean, that's good overall for everybody, right? But yeah, I would still try and go for the Fury bottom side on the left and right if I was an archer, and I would have already finished my bottom right and left. And then for sorcery, well, I mean, I'm sure there's other slots right here that would be okay. For example, basic attack damage, defense of course, counter damage resistance, ignore counter. So we could try and go for stuff like that. For example, basic attack damage and eventually reach that node. That would be a decent option. Over here we got stun duration, skill damage, and ignore evasion. Yeah, I think I would go top left here. And then on the side of the right, we would have a base attack increase, so that's for sure pretty damn good. Skill crit, not too much. Stun duration, okay. Ignore evasion, pretty damn strong, so I would go like this, base attack, and then stun duration, then ignore evasion, and then eventually I would get this one. Probably I would get this one instead. I mean, the skill cooldown being accelerated really is actually pretty damn strong. It's 100% for 5 seconds, so you can just get another go at pretty much all your attack front loaded, and you can also just get another set of that shield if you're still using it, odd one not, another clone strike, whatever. And on the top side here we would get basic attack damage, we would have base defense and ignore counter, right? So the options are there. I think I will still go to the bottom side here for the extra damage and ignore evasion, but the basic attack damage, I mean, maybe that would be better. To be fair, I'm not too sure at that point, but yeah, I would still try and search away from just your one class tree that you're starting on. Of course, you're going to be starting with your class tree, but there is stuff that you might want to be searching out of it once you have started to already finish it up. It's going to take a lot of time for us, and you can experiment with it as well, just resetting the talents. So yeah, if that's something you are interested in, okay, we'll just go ahead and try stuff out. I don't think there's any drawbacks, at least for the first time. You might have to pay some diamonds on the later times, but yeah, the talent system is insanely strong. The bonuses are pretty damn huge. They don't just add, they also multiply. And there is just so many of them. That basic attack, that base attack insane is just all those values are just so damn high, and it's very damn important. Just try and get yourself some of those acceleration progress items or just bonuses over here. For example, all those privilege things. For example, what you call the trial card, that is the one that increases your accelerator, your dark trial reward challenge rewards by 50%, as well as 1 extra reset daily attempt for the dungeon, the new dungeon. So yeah, definitely very new, very strong system. If you do choose to just participate in it, and you want to also be buying those that trial pass or whatever you want to be calling it, then you can try and do so through Aptoide, right? Aptoide is an app that's going to be allowing you to download Android games like The Legend of Mushroom, for example, on your phone, as well as on your emulator on your PC. And basically, whenever you purchase anything within these games with Aptoide, what's going to happen is you're going to be getting a bonus from 10% all the way up to 35% of however much value you are spending. In the case of this purchase, for example, I am getting 0.14 euros out of 1.20 euros I'm spending, right? So that's a decent bonus that can scale up by doing things like using my code, which is going to be down in the description, as well as it's going to be there on the screen. And that's going to be increasing the amount by a flat 5% from the get-go. Then you can increase it further by participating in active events within the AppCoins wallet. I'll show you that in a minute. And then you can also scale up the bonus by doing more and more purchases. Now, once you do have the bonuses, you can use them to make the purchases for you without spending your real money. It is pretty damn simple. Just get more value for your money. You spend your money, you get the bonuses, and you basically get a discount for yourself for further purchases, right? So once we have all that, it's going to be pretty damn simple. Just go down to the description, check out the links there if you want to have like a guide on how to set it all up. It takes no more than 5 minutes, and then you can check it out as well. All the bonuses you have unlocked is going to be there on the AppCoins wallet, which is also going to be part of the tutorial on how to set it up all. And you will have your accumulated bonuses as well as your progress towards the next reward. As you unlock higher and higher amounts of bonuses, you will also be able to input my promo code right there. As you click promo codes, you just put it there, and it's going to be a flat 5% increase, as well as the active events that are going on, which are increasing the bonuses you can get by 5, 10%, whatever, right? So it's pretty damn cool, pretty damn simple. Just let me know if you got any questions down below in the comment section. I'll really try to answer them, but it's pretty easy, and all the links are going to be down there in the description. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. Let me know what you think about it down in the comment section. Let me know what you think about the talent system, if you enjoyed, if you try out some of the branching out towards other classes kind of thing. And yeah, I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye, see ya.